Hi everybody, Scott here from the Introvert Power channel. In this video I want to talk about the ENFP paradox. Or at least a ENFP paradox. And it's essentially around authenticity, identity, and finding self. So ENFPs have a tendency to, they build self-confidence through being authentic. To be authentic essentially is, almost requires an object to be authentic with. And so their focus is outward towards showing their authenticity, which in turn helps them to build their sense of self. However, and I think that ends up happening as part of the journey for the ENFP, but it's kind of like in engaging out there to build, and being able to be authentic, to build a self-confidence and a sense of self. They're not focusing or being in self. So there's a sense that they're kind of neglecting the self that currently is, while they're trying to be authentic out in the real world. So it's kind of a catch-22 in that they build confidence through engaging with the outer world and developing their authenticity, but at the same time they're sort of neglecting the self that they currently have. And I think it's kind of like, this NE is out in the world helping to sort of build authenticity that builds confidence in the self. I think one aspect to mention is that it's like this FI, because it's not as used as much, if you like. It's like the FI is always trying to play catch up with the NE. Like there's more coming into the NE than the FI is able to sort of handle, and so there's a sense that the core of the person, if you like, is having to play catch up with trying to find self. So I think there's some value for ENFPs to bring, not to sort of manipulate or try and mess too much with their growth process, but just being mindful that bringing a little bit of attention back to their core sense of self, at least from this point of view, can help, I think, to bring a sense of authenticity in the here and now, rather than always trying to seek it. It's like learning to be comfortable with the self that is currently, in a way you could say, being authentic with the self that is currently present, that currently exists. Like I'm going to value and affirm the self that I have now, which is in a sense a form of authenticity towards the self, and that I think that can have some outflow, if you like, of building their sense of self-confidence, their sense of who they are. What I think can happen as a result of affirming the self that is that actually enables a greater sense of being authentic out in the world when the ENFP is engaging and wanting to show authenticity with others. So there's a sense of bringing some of that attention back here. You could say it's both a mindset, but also it could be through instilling a little bit of quiet time, a little bit of reflection, a little bit of noticing I guess you could say, the inner self, that could help bring about that greater awareness of the self that is currently, and it's kind of like, it's almost like a form of grounding. It's kind of helping to ground the ENFP into themselves a little bit more, bringing a greater, almost like bringing connections from the NE and the FI, a greater sense of cooperation, if you like, and that feeding consciously into this to some extent will then cause a sort of almost like a feedback loop of helping the ENFP to take some of this depth, sort of depth of authenticity, if you like, of who they are currently, and sending that out or communicating or showing that to the outer world. So anyway, I hope that makes some sense. Be open to hearing what other people, ENFPs, if this resonates with you in any way, and I thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in another video.